Ni hao, collectors. So we got another Xcartoys. I really like this brand. I'm starting to enjoy a lot of their castings because they're generally cars that you don't see in North America or even Europe. Or, well, actually I tend to see them here where I live because safety is of no issue to people in where I live. You can figure out where I live through my other videos. Okay, so Xcartoys is saying it's 1/64 scale, Y13-03. I have a suspicion this is like a wave, Y13 and number 3 in it, or maybe that's the color code. I'm not sure. But anyways, this is the first generation Chery QQ, body code S11. And this brand does everything by the book, legally that is. So that's the Chery logo because it's approved by that car company. It's a Chinese car. This thing was first sold in 2003 and ended production in 2015 in more modern countries, but it's still made today in Pakistan. I believe it actually started production in Pakistan in 2021 according to Wikipedia. Being a super compact car, it still actually has 5 doors, and the engine choices are 0.8, or let's just call it 800 cc's, like a large motorcycle, and up to a 1.1 liter, which still would be a large motorcycle type of engine. The 800 cc is a inline 3, and then the 1.1 is an inline 4. Okay, so actually this green kind of matches this one for sure. Now, this car had a lot of issues going on. The plus side is this was the most inexpensive car of its day, according to Wikipedia. It was sold for like $4,000, so that's really cheap for a car. The problem is it's got a 0 crash rating standard in the NCAP test. You see this structure? You know, most car structures, you should be able to open the doors after an accident, but the whole door frame is messed up, so it got a 0 safety rating, meaning there's a good chance you're gonna die in this vehicle. But if you ride motorcycles, maybe it's safer than a motorcycle. There were some legal disputes with General Motors. General Motors said this was a straight up copy of another vehicle of theirs because they took the doors off the GM car and they fit this Chery. The front ends do look a little bit different, but the actual chassis is very similar, GM was claiming. And the cars it was comparing it to were the Daewoo Matiz and the Chevrolet Spark of that time period. Okay, so that's enough for that. It's front wheel drive only. And then nowadays there's an electric version. And for a few years it was the #1 selling electric vehicle in China, because again it was still inexpensive. According to Wikipedia, let's see here, saying $6,500 US for this car, brand new, in around 2010. So that's still pretty cheap. Okay, enough about the that stuff. Let's get into the actual model here that Xcartoys did. So we got the stamped steel wheels. They're good enough. You know, I guess you could add a black paint wash in there if you wanted to, but you can actually see the 4 lug nuts and then the recesses for the holes, but naturally they're not passing air. I think they could have easily molded it so it actually does pass air because the holes are so small, but maybe they're afraid of getting, maybe paint would fill them up or something like that. I think these tires are okay. I wish they were more rounded. They're kind of like chamfered inwards, so they do have some sort of, you know, dimensionality to them. They're not flat slab-sided, they're more like a cone. And then the tire treads, well, not really a fan of the gnarly tires, but wow, well, if you guys care, that's a nice smooth roller. I think all the Xcartoys models I have roll pretty nice. I think it's helped by, it also has a metal base, I think. Or no, I'm mistaken. No, this one has a plastic base. So it tells you when it was made, what scale. It's a Chery something. It doesn't say QQ though. And then it's nice that it's screwed together. And then really nice looking treads. They look like modern car tire treads. Okay. What's nice is I think the mirrors might be rubbery. Yeah, they're rubbery. And then, let's see here, the side glass has some black printing back here. That is body colored on the photograph, okay. Yeah, panel gaps are pretty decent, nothing too bad. This is not a metallic green, it's just like a regular green, no metal flakes. The door handles have some interesting details. I can't really say they look like the door handles on the car though. The outline does, but there's no recess for your fingers. There's a little bump here with a reflector or running light painted orange there. What's going on here? That's a raised rib and it's painted black. Okay, let's go to the front here. So we have some painted on silver and orange lights there. And then it's nice that the license plate has, I'm assuming, Chery QQ there. Kind of a muted grill though. I think they could have done a better job getting a crisper molded grill in that metal there. Some sort of printing here as well. And then nice plastic headlights, but they're not very clear. They look cloudy. Or, well, it's really weird. It's like the edge. It looks, I don't know what's going on. Oh, I think it's glue. Yeah, so the edge was glued on, and I think in the middle it's just clear, and there's a silver concave light bucket back there. So, I don't know if I like that or not. I almost feel like they could have just molded a pin like other die-casts and gone into a hole, so that pin would look like the light bulb. Ooh, look at my dry hands. Black paint there. The Chery logo looks pretty good there. Under this massive magnification, you can see some of the paint. It's not the smoothest paint, but I didn't even notice it until I magnified it, so it's not so bad in reality. Nice thin wiper blades, raised, painted black, as well as the black out of the windows. And then we have some black printing here for some like rain gutter molding or something. Looks, oh, the fuel fillers on this side. That seems to be the only other difference. There's actually silver paint in the mirrors, so that's nice. And then the tail lights, I think they're plastic, so that's nice. Yeah, you can see the light bouncing around in there. You can actually see the concave light bucket with the light bulb there. And then I think this one does have pins, and those pins are becoming the rear brake light, rear backup lights. So that's cool. These are just painted still red, the reflectors. And then the license plate again is printed nice, and this Chery logo down there. Some sort of raised thing here on this hand grab. QQ, maybe that's Chinese text for Chery. Little tiny exhaust tip. It's part of the base, I think. Little paint blemish right there. This is body colored too. I would have guessed this area would be black, but no, it's green on that rear photograph. Okay, so the rear third brake light there. Can't focus. There we go. Yeah, it's printed nicely. Very good. No defroster lines, so that's nice. Okay. I think we'll open up the interior. Why not? We have a screwed together base. So let's get that screwdriver out. Maybe some sticky paint. Okay. Whoa, tire just fell off. Okay, so no, this base is metal. Yeah, that's metal. Alright, now that tire fell off. They're so thin, they're easy to fall off, but they're easy to get back on, so that's good. Alright. Something is keeping that interior stuck up in there. There we go. Alright, so typical black molded plastic interior on modern die-cast cars. Nice details molded in, but this one has no additional color, which I guess is okay for a model of this price range. Do I want to repaint this? Do I want a custom Chery? I think I do. It's just tension holding up the glass in there, so very efficient for cost. Alright, let's take a look at a few other models that might get you killed. This one is by Kyosho. It's the old BMW Heseta. If you think that's unsafe, you're just, well, BMW makes motorcycles, so. Also from Xcartoys is this thing called a Mini EV. It's a pretty nice looking car, I think. Just questionable if it's safe. And then I used to have a first generation, well, the first generation body style as a Mini. So I never felt safe driving around in this either, but I also ride motorcycles, so for me, I accept that I might die. Alright, that one's by Greenlight, by the way. And then here's another Xcartoys of something called the Black Cat by a car company called Aura, which is the electric division of GWM, Great Wall Motor. So that's actually the biggest of the bunch, but it's been a while since I brought out BA's vans by Greenlight here. So if you did have BA's van, you could pretty much take these four and use any one of those and probably use this as a garage, a mobile garage. Yeah, it's crazy, these small vehicles. But that's why this thing was only $4,000 or $6,500-ish. Maybe it's like $8,000 nowadays, I don't know, but that would still be quite inexpensive for a car. Okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna mix it up today as far as ending this off. So hold on a second. So here in my parking garage, there actually is a Chery QQ. Let's see if we can compare. This person seems to have modified theirs quite a bit. It's got fender flares, exhaust pipe, a roof rack. Let's take a look around the front. Yeah, it's got a different chin spoiler on it as well. Yeah, so maybe this is not the best comparison. This thing has a carbon fiber hood. You know, it's a small car. It actually doesn't look that small to me, though. I've seen smaller things. It's definitely bigger than a golf cart. Alright, well anyways, thanks for watching today. See you at the next mini car review.